here we are. All right. Still 8 o'clock. Not 9 o'clock like my desk clock is. I'll have to do that mentally in my head, at least until I can officially how to fix it. So, good morning. Hey, good morning. Good morning, LGV. And ID Princess, early for you. Yeah, Mean Gene in Tennessee. And Cindy, and Yvette, and Ginger, and Joyce, and all sorts of folks. Happy Monday. Happy first Monday of November, huh? Okay, I'm going to pause and I'm going to drink a sip of my tea. I've got a little something about right here. And you don't want to see me choke on live camera, do you? No. There we go. Good morning, Natalie. Natalie with a TH, which reminds me of Australia for some reason, but that's how my brain works. So, hey, everybody. User 1963, good, nice to see you. I'm not going to say hello to everybody because then I'm afraid of leaving people out, and I know what it's like to feel left out, so I don't want to do that. So, good morning, everybody. Alrighty. Mean Gene can watch because I am sick, unable to go to work. Okay, well, bummer for feeling sick. Bummer for feeling sick, so let's try to make this time together good. Maybe that will make you feel better. Maybe not physically, a little bit physically, but mentally, I don't know, all the ways. And I love the fact that you led with not feeling good physically. PM 11208, I believe I'm going to see you earlier. So making sure you feel good physically, to me, I have learned, is like the number one thing to check on first. Good morning, Erin. I get a big morning this morning, so I've got my gigantic mug that I raised to you, okay? So yeah, we've got a TikTok live happening right now. Just started at 8 o'clock, going till 9. And then immediately after that, like a quick switcheroo, as we would say, is we've got a declutter party. A declutter party starting at 9 a.m. Eastern. Remember, you may be in rooms right now where you didn't change the clocks. So that happened to me as I walked in my office. I realized that during the weekends, I enjoy this place, do not get me wrong, but I spend so much time in this room during the week that I consciously spent time in other areas of the house this weekend. But yeah, so I have a big morning, and so I have my big mug. There we go. Hey, there we go. Cat Roby. Cat Roby's back in the his. Time change so I can do some home curation. I like the idea of that. I did a bit of curation myself. 1, put away the laundry. 2, empty the dishwasher. 3, transition to desk for now and have a 7 a.m. meeting. Cat Roby, you're on fire. There we go. All right, Laura Gibbon Voorhees, hauling yourself out of bed again. Got the recycle out and crawled back into bed. Trust me, I'm a crawler back or bed or into bed or person myself, so you're with you. There we go. Oh, interesting. Irish Moonbeam says, good morning. My husband proposed to me. Well, that's how we became your husband. To propose to me an idea, and I'm so excited. I love it. Who doesn't like an idea that gets you a little bit, ooh, this could be good. This could be the start of something good, as I paraphrase. So for those of you who don't know me, real quick, my name is Beth. I am a decluttering life coach, and my coaching is called Destination Decluttered. I do TikTok lives. Actually, the schedule is up. So everybody who's part of the email group, I hope you got the email. If you didn't, there's an email waiting for you. But it's basically a reminder to check the secret page. We've got TikTok lives and YouTube lives scheduled all week. OMG. A whole heap and help of hospitality, a whole heap and help of declutter parties for the first 3.5 weeks of November. So all sorts of good stuff happening with Destination Decluttered. And in the meantime, I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you if you're struggling with the clutter. I'm here to help you if you're feeling like you're the only person that you know that's struggling with the clutter. That means your other friends are just either neuro boring, I guess I could call it, because typical And, or they're just really good at hiding it. Because you're not the only one who may struggle with clutter. And that's why I show up, because I kind of used to. And there we go. All right. It's funny. Irish Moonbeam, for some reason, you're tagging yourself in your comments. We have a property, so it's dual purpose, but he suggested we get a shipping container. And we will declutter the house and then slowly get rid of stuff. All righty. Interesting. Interesting way to go about it. So I'm curious, will you keep the stuff? The stuff that you don't want will go in the shipping container, or maybe you'll ship it overseas and just let it float around. But hey, an idea worth examining. There we go. That sounds like it has some possibilities. There we go. Kat Roby is also psyched to have learned a new skill. So here's, again, why I show up is to share with you kind of what I call my toolkit, like the little, bucket of tools that you walk around with that help make things easier. Before they invented the hammer, people were just, they probably didn't have nails, but they were doing things differently. Now, Kat Roby says, this morning, I relearned some email and screen capture tools that will help me declutter tasks and meetings for my business. And she is stoked to have relearned some things to make it easier. So here's a funny thing. Like, I tend to show up and resonate with people who either never really learned how to declutter in a way that's easy and sustainable, or if you learned a way to declutter, it isn't easy and sustainable. So either you don't have the skill, or the skill you have isn't doing it for you. Okay? And so I am here to just share with you what has worked for me, what has worked for my one-on-one clients, people here, and I come to help, not to harm. Alrighty. And I love it. Kat Roby's also going to declutter her email with these tools. Kara, good morning. Hello, put away the laundry. Check. Made bed. Check. Rest for 5 and then shower to get to jewelry work. Kara's garden. Kara is decluttering her vintage jewelry collection. Jewelry collection. And it is so fun to see your TikTok videos pop up. I love looking at what you've what you have collected, and I love that you are at a point in your life where you're more easily letting go of it and making some money from it in the meantime. There we go. Alrighty, so yay, Patty is excited about this week. Looking forward to focusing, of which I can help, and I have a timeline to work within. Yeah. So I will offer to you one of the things I do know, and I'm just going to kind of put up a couple of pages here on my second page, is I am going to be mentioning a couple of times to take a look at your own schedule, take a look at your own clock and whatnot. We have a decluttering party happening this morning at 9 a.m., 9 to 10:30. So if you want to declutter together, that may be a motivation. Also, in the email that I sent to the email group, I shared with you the hundreds of dollars we were able to donate to a local food bank just from the decluttering parties this past month. The grand total of how much the decluttering parties have raised to donate to charity this entire year. And we have 10 decluttering parties this month. 100% of all the proceeds from all of those declutter parties are going to a local food bank. Okay? So if you want to help somebody else, you can also help yourself at the same time. All right? So just a thought. Maybe you're like, I could donate $20 to a food pantry. It's going to help somebody. And you show up and it gives you focus and time and support and encouragement and somebody to walk you through when you get stuck. Because that's what happens. You know what you do what you know how to do, but you stop when your brain says, I don't know what to do right here. And that's when I show up. I'm like, I might have an idea that can help you. Okay? So that's where we go. And thank you. Who was it? Oh, very cool. Kara's going to plant some allium. Those are so funny. I remember them from when I used to do the fake flower areas of Pier 1 and Mikasa. I remember allium looking like those little puffballs on a stick. There we go. Jen says, me, I got no skills. You can make it. I can teach you. And Sherry in Motion says, you make it seem easy. Yeah, that's please. I'm not going to teach you anything. So Abbott Elementary, here to learn strategies. Donna, I'm wicked. I'm all about the strategies, okay? And yeah, easy peasy, but you give brilliant decluttering tips. Now, the brilliance of my decluttering tips is only measured in the amount of times that people actually do the thing. Because you can have I know I should do that, but if I'm not doing it, then I haven't really hit the mark. I'm kind of missing it. So I hope to give you some strategies that make sense up here, but also some encouragement that helps you right here so you actually do the things. Okay? And so I want to offer to you Abbott Elementary. And somebody said, I'll give you a tip. Abbott Elementary has brought up a specific that I can help with. I have a bag of shapewear that I haven't used in years. So here's what I do, Abbott Elementary, with, and I literally just did it this morning. So this may be a tip for you. I typically get dressed and undressed in the bathroom because that's where my pants are halfway down, TMI. I'm kind of halfway between I've moved my clothes. If there's a place, Abbott Elementary, that you tend to get dressed and undressed, why not put that bag of shapewear closer to that? If you're already half naked, if you're already putting on a bra that you currently wear, practice just trying on one of those things from the bag of shapewear, or even just taking it out of the bag and seeing if you want to put it on. Maybe put it in the bathroom where you're going to be naked anyway because you're going to be taking a shower. And then before you put on your real shapewear that you wear now, you just experiment with that stuff. You don't have to wear it, but trying it on or even getting it out of the bag and looking at it can help you decide whether you want to keep it or maybe it's time to let it go. Okay, so there's a tip. There we go. I love it. Hi has got a great idea too, which I love this one. This is basically the basis of the decluttering parties. So Hi says, did an impromptu declutter phone call with a friend this weekend and she wants to do it again. Yes, doing decluttering at the same time as other people can encourage you to do it. If your brain is wired in the lovely way that they call neurodivergence, but I call neuro-awesome, I just made that up. Body doubling is a thing in the ADHD world. It may help you do it if there are other people doing it at the same time. It may help you focus. Whereas when you are on your own, left to your own devices, you may be kind of scattered all around. Okay, now Nurse B86 says, just learning to declutter. It's hard, but doing it slowly. What I will offer to you, Nurse B86, is it doesn't have to, don't think of it as hard. Okay, if you tell yourself something is going to be difficult, you're kind of making yourself make it more difficult. But what I will offer is you're doing a wonderful thing. You're doing it slowly. And slowly is usually in the opposite of when you try to do things too fast. And when you do things too quickly, you tend to have more errors. And what do I mean by an error? By doing something too quickly, you may make a decision that you later regret. So take your time, do it right, as that song says, right? And move at a pace that feels good so you're feeling good about what you did. I did this this weekend. I did not do any pop-up TikTok lives or YouTube lives. And I spent some time in my own house, and it was great to really kind of move at a pace that felt good and feel good about the stuff I did. I glanced over there, as you may have just noticed, because I'm also noticing that I have an entire wall of boxes that had been in this room since the fall, or excuse me, because it is the fall, since the spring, is now mostly down the basement and in the kitchen en route to the basement. Doing it a little bit at a time. Yeah. So yeah, user 1963, yay, money for the food bank, 100%. We are here to help ourselves and help other people. Okay? So what I will say is, Jennifer Loho, or however you pronounce your name. Jennifer, you have me at your house. Do you not hear me in your home? Here's what I would be doing. Seriously, I'm going to save you thousands of dollars right now because you could pay to get me in your house, but I wouldn't be picking up stuff. No, I'm done. My days of touching other people's stuff is over. I'd be sitting down like I am right now. I would say, okay, what is that thing over there? Or give me something you're struggling with. Tell me the story of it. And what do you want to do with it? That's really all I'd be doing, Jennifer. I have learned the hard way that when I have decluttered for people, because I can do it, because I'm good at it, it doesn't have as lasting an effect as if people doing it themselves and learning and teaching themselves that they can do it. Okay? So, yeah, neuro awesome. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now Donna is noticing. Now notice this shift, Donna. Now I use, and I did you see my body? My body coaches. My body can't use words, so it just moves around a bit. So I was saying you're shifting gears, like shifting on the gear shift, because I use a lot of car and driving metaphors, because all of us have pretty much been in a car and know how to drive. And it's a skill we weren't born with, and it's a skill we were taught by somebody else, and it's a skill that we maintain and keep good at by practicing it. Okay? Alrighty, so here, starting in a fresh notebook, don't want to mess it up. You're going to mess up your notebook, Patty. Get used to it. Okay? So it's all right, though. What I want to offer is, there was something back here. Donna says, hard to get started. Okay, because it seems overwhelming. But once I'm involved in it, it gets a bit easier. Yes. So here's what I want to kind of rearrange some of the stuff you said, Donna, because this may help. You're noticing that the root cause of your hard time to get started is the seeming overwhelming. Now, I love the word seems. It seems like that, but it's not really. It might be depending upon how you look at it. And I want to offer these 3. Somebody asked me for tips. I'll give you tips. 3 tips. Start with your human body and check in. How are you feeling okay physically? Hopefully you're doing okay physically. If not, do something to counter that. Headache, take a pill, go to the bathroom, eat some food, put on some comfy clothes, get the nice temperature, all those kind of physical things. The very next one is going to be checking in with your nervous system. Now, your nervous system is where you start, is in your body where you feel the feelings. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, if something seems overwhelming, that is a feeling, but you can change that. And here's how I want you to do that. I want you to think of this. We'll do a little call and response. I say overwhelm and you say chunk it down. I say overwhelm, you say calm it down. So when you are feeling overwhelmed, notice it's like over your head. I'm in over my head, overwhelm. That is a visual clue, a word clue to go to the opposite, which is going to be down, which is going to be slowing down, breathing down, quieting down, writing down, chunking down, focusing down. Instead of looking at all this and being like, oh my gosh, focus down literally on, just even this amount. Use your body as a unit of measure. It's kind of funny if you think about it, because you think of, like, we call it the measurement of a foot, but even between your hands, with your elbows in at a right angle and your hands like this, you could kind of focus in on just what's that right in front of you. And when you're looking at a smaller amount of things, you start to feel less overwhelmed. On the flip side, if you look at a whole bunch of things, you can feel overwhelmed. And with certain people, many people, I think, overwhelm tends to shut you down and you don't do anything. Okay? So please notice that about yourself. Is what I'm saying resonating with you, or you're like, I have no idea what she's talking about? If you get the feeling when you look around your house, oh my gosh, there's so much to do, don't look all around your house. I mean, notice it, but then how to get started by doing something versus nothing is to calm down your nervous system, chunk down where you're looking at, and then that should help you get into gear. Okay? I hope that helps. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so notice that back up Chloe, Nat Chloe. I know I'm mangling people's names here, but you know I'm talking about you. That really resonates. I go into paralysis. Yes, so notice the physical attributes of paralysis. Paralyzed. See me, I'm pretending to be paralyzed. I can't move. That's not a good way to be. Somebody could knock you over. You're there doing nothing. Now, you don't always have to be doing something, but instead of being stiff and rigid and paralyzed, notice that if you feel paralyzed, that is a physical thing. So work with that. Move your body around, you know? Get yourself loosened up. Be like one of those wavy guys at the car wash. If you're feeling paralyzed, break the spell. Break the spell. It's funny. That's really random. There's a song called Break the Spell by a band I used to go see in the 80s, and I had a dream that I ran into the one of the people in the band who I've seen recently, but he got a haircut. He looked much better with the haircut in my dreams, just saying. But I digress. Notice the words you use. Yeah, exactly. Laura Gibbon Voorhees is doing it right now. Picking up an item at a time. I can't keep looking around or I'll freeze. Now notice, freeze, like freeze tag. I'm tagging you. You're not frozen anymore. Like, remember, did you guys ever play freeze tag when you were a kid in somebody's backyard? Where, I can't remember, somebody tags one person. I'll have to Google the rules, but you know what I mean. Somebody could tap you and then you're not frozen and then you could run around or something like that. So notice where you, and this is the thing. This is why I'm a decluttering life coach, because the answers are within you and I'm helping you with this. Your thoughts and what you see and what your habits of looking and feeling and thinking cause you to either not do something or do something else, okay? Now, Patty, I know this too. I start one thing and I get into something else. You are probably in the habit of not focusing. Now, sometimes this can be good, and especially if with a ADHD brain, and I'll just pretend I'm talking to everybody ADHD here. When you've spent a lot of time kind of focusing or hyper-focusing, sometimes you need a break and you're just dithering around, okay? So what I offer to you, Patty, is catch yourself. This is where I show up to remind you when you notice you're doing something that you don't like the outcome of. The sooner you catch yourself doing it, the sooner you can course correct. It's like going down a road. It's kind of like veering to the side of the road when you're driving. As soon as you notice it, you can course correct. If you don't notice it until you're out in the mud, you can get stuck. Now, Patty, I love kind of doing the family circus trail, or the family circus trail, because you notice, oh yeah, and I do this too. I have had to catch myself. Where it's like, oh, like I go from one place in the kitchen to the other place and I see something and then I'm like, oh, I should do that. But I have to remember, no, focus on what you were doing and complete that action. And then you can go do the other thing. It is a habit which can be changed. And the more you bust yourself on it, the less likely you are to do it. You may need to bust yourself on it for the rest of your life, but not as much as you maybe do now. Now notice, Patty, you're noticing this kind of from previous experiments today at the declutter party. Catch yourself. Make it part of what you want to do is practice not getting distracted, not distracting yourself. Okay? Now, I love it. On the flip side, Janet says, I was doing some deep organizing yesterday, and I was thinking of you using the tools you provided me. Yay. I'm glad it helped. Yeah, I was doing some deep organizing yesterday, and it felt good. Yeah. Okay. Now, Jackie is noticing. I get so overwhelmed, I stop, which can be good, and I crochet so I can have instant results. Now, Jackie, notice, and we all, every single one of us lives in an instant gratification culture. Okay? And I share with you that, hold on. I'm being distracted here. Let me just do one quick thing. Yep. All right. Let me just do this. This is a bit time sensitive. Okay. So, notice I got myself distracted, so I'm going to put up just a plain screen over there. Alrighty. Now, Notice that you got instant results, Jackie, which kind of feeds the dopamine. Again, ADHD people producing dopamine. However, you're not getting results, and this is why I call my coaching destination decluttered. Notice back here, I'm pointing at a heart right here on kind of a road trip metaphor that we start here and we go there. You're having instant results, but not in your decluttering. So yeah, you're probably crocheting blankets at this point, right? And I mean, I say this with love in my heart. I truly do. But notice that you're not getting overwhelmed, or excuse me, you're not getting the results. You're not driving in the direction that you want to be. Now, decluttering, when you do it in a certain order, you will get some easy peasy wins. But sometimes it will take longer and it may not be as HGTV noticeable at the beginning. That doesn't mean just because it's not a instant gratification to give up. Okay? Now, Kate is asking, can you make your nervous system state change? I believe you can. I totally believe you can, because your nervous system and your physical system are intertwined like nobody's business. And your nervous system is activated by certain thoughts that causes you to feel a feeling and do a certain thing. If you notice that, you can stop and you can do something else. Okay? You can do something else. And here's a good thing. You can do something else. And what I typically remember is, yeah, well, what's that something else? Seriously, you guys? I make it so easy. Just do the opposite. If you're distracted, come back to focusing. If you're overwhelmed, calm yourself down. If you are telling yourself mean things, tell yourself nice things. The opposite. It can be that easy. Alrighty. Now, I love this because Janet, who said she did some deep decluttering using the tools that I've provided on these TikTok lives and YouTube lives and all of the videos that I've done, which are free for you to watch on my YouTube channel, Destination Decluttered. 878 videos. Before Thanksgiving, there will be 900 videos, over 900. Janet is even saying, and check this out, you guys, you want a reason to declutter and feel good about it? Janet says, I even slept better. Anybody else here like a good night's sleep? Not to sound like old people, but man, waking up and feeling like, man, I slept really well. That is a good feeling. So decluttering can help you feel good physically. Alrighty. Now, Donna says, I plan to stay home and work on it, and then if my daughter calls, I leave and spend the day with her. I know I'm avoiding the issue. How do I stay committed to my plan instead of, and I'm looking for the rest of it, but instead of not committing to your plan? So I am pretty much always wired to go do something fun. I will also avoid tasks when there's something more fun to do. But what I will offer you, Donna, instead of thinking either or, who was it? Kara said, Mother May I, and red light, green light, total. And hey, Witchy, are you coming out tonight? I don't know. That's one of the ones we used to play. Conjunction, junction. What's your function? It doesn't have to be this or that. It can be this and that. So, for example, I plan to stay home and work on it. So plan to work on it and then work on it some. And you can say to your daughter, okay, I'm going to declutter for 3 hours. Why don't I meet you at X amount of time? Okay? Now, trust me, we all avoid things that we don't think are going to be fun or that feel more like tasks than fun. Or at least I do. I don't want to speak for everybody, but I do that. But you can have fun and get it done. That's kind of one of my catchphrases. Okay? The other thing too is, Donna, I will share this with you as a daughter. If you are cluttered, your daughter's probably noticing it too, and your daughter may be thinking, holy shit, if mom doesn't declutter and she dies, I'm going to be stuck with her stuff. Or she may be like, oh geez, I'm concerned because mom's house is cluttered and I'm afraid she's going to trip and fall. Or I'm afraid she won't be able to find something important if something happens. So maybe you say, Donna, hey, I plan on decluttering, and your daughter is probably not going to say, no, mom, don't do that. She may say, that's awesome. and maybe she might offer to come and help. Or on the flip side, do you have any of her stuff in your house? She could help you by getting her stuff out of her house. Okay? But what I mean by this is you don't have to be all or nothing. Another trademark of the neurodivergent brain, the neuro-awesome brain. Okay? It can be this and that. I've got 2 hours. I will spend 1 hour decluttering and 1 hour with my daughter. How does that sound? Okay? How does that sound? Yay! Now, Jesse says, I've made so much progress this year thanks to you and your tricks. Oh, no, I don't trick anybody. This is the cool thing. It's not magic. Or if it's magic, you're the one who's creating it. Okay? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, Donna, notice that's how it was with my mother. We had to clean it up. Right. So, notice that's how it was with you. And kudos for you for starting to declutter before I was going to say before you're dead, but after you're dead, it doesn't make sense. Okay? And yay for you for starting. And yay for you for doing a little bit at a time. Is this what it says? Every little bit helps. My big mug right here. Every little bit helps that you do. Do not discount it. If you don't have an entire day, actually, sometimes it's better to not have an entire day because you're going to think I'm going to kick the world's ass, as I like to say, and then you run out of gas. Yeah. Now, I love it. Jesse says, I'm reaching closets and corners not touched in 10 years. Awesome. That deep dive. Now, I will share this with that. That is such a good place to be. That's where I am at this stage of my decluttering. And it feels really good. I am digging where I am. And yet, the only reason I am more easily able to do that is because my surfaces and what I have stored feels good too. So 3 layers of clutter. If I was here, let's go to the board, shall we? Okay. All right. So LabsRock07XX. Okay, here, first of all, overwhelm. If we were using a word that if we used it a lot here in declutter coaching, this would be it. So the very first thing is, notice this about what you're saying, Lab Rocks, and everybody else who's been hearing me for the past half hour. I'll do a station ID. My name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach, and my coaching is called Destination Decluttered. Here on TikTok, on YouTube, and on the internet, destinationdecluttered.com. Okay? Overwhelm, I have found, can be triggered by the feeling of overwhelm, can be turned on by looking at the big picture. Okay? Notice, Labs Rock says, my whole house is a disaster. No, even better. My whole house, very declarative, dramatic words can also make sure you're feeling overwhelmed. My whole house is a total disaster. Okay. I've started digging myself out. It's so overwhelming. Okay. I get that. I don't want you to focus on the whole house that is a total disaster. I want you to focus on what's right in front of you and what's behind you. What you can do, what's right in front of you, and the progress you have made. The destination is really just there as to keep you on target. It's not necessarily to delay fun and once I get there and all that kind of stuff. Once people say, once I get there, I'll be happy. No, it's to keep kind of like the North Star in your mind's eye. This is what I'm heading towards. And like a road trip, enjoy the journey. Be psyched about what you did and keep focused on just what's ahead of you, and you will make progress. That will also help de-overwhelm your nervous system so it'll be easier. Yes, chunking it down, okay? Chunking it down. But the first thing is to recognize when you're feeling overwhelmed and you're going, up like this, and your hands are out and your eyes are up and you're leaning back like this. Let's do the opposite. Eyes down, hands pointed inwards. Instead of going, go, and then breathe deeply, all right? Get yourself out of overwhelm by physically doing stuff, calming your nervous system down, and then focus on what's in front of you and celebrate what you've done. And lather, rinse, repeat that stuff, okay? Now, OK Teacher says, I want to overhaul my pantry. Should I empty it, categorize it, and then buy containers? No, hun. This is what I'd like you to do. If it were me, I would do this. I would sit down with some paper. I'd make a strategy. So destination overhaul pantry. I would write down what I want my pantry to look like, function like, and feel like. It probably doesn't feel or look like that now. So you may be like, well, I know it's messy. I want it to be clean. I want it to be easy, stuff like that. So overhaul the entire pantry. It's good to have a destination. As far as emptying it, I would say don't empty the whole thing. I would say chunk it down, categorize it. Chunking it down is going to allow you to do the project, especially when it may not be even if it's going to just take you one day, the time you have. So start with your goals in mind. You will then have a better idea when you go to categorize things or get rid of things, okay? Buying containers should be the last thing ever in the decluttering process, because decluttering is decision making of what you're aiming for and what you want to be contained in that space. Okay? I hope that helps, my dear. Now, speaking of help, Kara is saying timers and stopwatches help me, especially if it's a pain sort of thing. You are quicker than you think. Yes, setting a timer for even 5 minutes and saying I am going to do the things in this 5 minutes can get you started, because you also know when you start, timers have a start and a stop time. And when it stops, you can allow yourself to stop. Okay? Now, Annie is saying, I so needed to hear this today. I'm moving at the end of the month. I have a lot of packing. Again, notice, a lot of packing can feel overwhelmed. What I would say is do a little bit at a time. Do as much as you can and start sooner rather than later. This is one of the reasons, I'll be honest with you guys, that when I was scheduling, was it Friday, Saturday, between the two? When I was scheduling the 10, count them 10 declutter parties that are happening in November, I consciously, and I'm just going to pull up my calendar right here to look at it, I consciously scheduled them between today and the 24th, so that you could start and get a head start on things, so you're not freaking out the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. Okay? So get started sooner rather than later. Keep yourself encouraged by looking at what you have done. Write down what you have done. Even if it's Monday, November 3rd, spent a half an hour packing. What am I going to do every day? Make a list of the things you did to get ready for your end of the month packing or end of the month move. Write down the things you've done. Write down a list of things you could do and pick from that, okay? But don't overwhelm yourself with the big, okay? Now, what do we got? Time capsule closets. I love it. I am a saver of sentimental memorabilia of my own. It's organized somewhat in boxes per year. But already, I'm old enough that I literally have, think about this. This freaks me out, you guys. Anybody else? The year 2000 was 25 years ago. I didn't mean to yell. I apologize. But me being like, oh, well, I'll just figure out the stuff from the 19s. And I was like 25 boxes of memorabilia. Even if you only save a box a year, everything adds up. So I have chunked it down, and I am chunking it down when I'm bringing it down the basement. There we go. Leroy Gibbon Voorhees taking a breath. Yes, taking a breath. All right? And going downstairs to get another box to put stuff in. Mini errands help. Yeah. Okay, Beth, can we discuss the critters and bugs we find that deter us? Okay. You may find spiders and bugs. They may be alive, they may be dead. Notice they are temporary, and they are as scared of you, if not more so, than you are from them. They are probably going to be trying to scurry away and survive. So let them go hide. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, so notice that seeing a critter could temporarily activate your nervous system. Wah! Calm down. It's just a spider. That spider is just trying to live its own spider life. Calm down your nervous system. Talk yourself down off the ledge. Let the spider scurry away. And then go back to what you were doing. The sooner you can get out of overwhelm and calm into neutral, the easier it's going to be for you to get back into action. So practice that shifting from park into first gear, or from, whatever, shifting back to neutral to reset yourself so you can get back into gear. Okay? Now, Irish Moonbeam says, my problem is I need some kind of peace in the chaos. Oh, yeah. So that way I'm tackling one toad at a time. Yes. So here's what I think of. When I think of peace in the chaos, I see this chaotic pile of stuff that's in the corner that's been here since our basement was worked on the spring and the summer and most of the fall, or some of the fall. If I do my decluttering facing that, my peripheral vision still sees that clutter. So all I do, I turn my back to it and I pull that one box, and over here, things are not, this is less chaotic. This is more peaceful. So it may help you to make a peaceful place. If you guys are getting a storage unit, maybe what you do is you set up like a table, and before you put stuff out there, you just pull it away from all of the stuff. You see it individually, and you ask yourself, do I even want to store this, or could I put it in my car to donate it somewhere? Okay? Yeah. Putting some music on can also help you do something that you may not want to do. I found it was much more enjoyable, and this was silly for me because I'm just in the habit of having quiet. But this weekend, I put on some records while I was doing the dishes and while I was ironing, kind of, tasks that I don't need to think about, so I can hear the music and then just get into that while my body is doing that task. Now I love it. I'm putting Son's items in smaller boxes, so I've chunked it down for him too. Yay. There we go. Now, God's Child 777, we're retiring in 2028 and moving down south. I started packing and decluttering. Notice you have a destination. Moving down south in 2028. When you're excited about the destination and the reason you're doing it, that can provide gas in your tank to get stuff done. So that's why, again, I go back to calling my coaching Destination Decluttered. What is the thought that's going to help you kind of kickstart your decluttering? And it can be different for everybody. Some people are moving. Some people don't want to move. They want to age in place. So they want to make the home that they have the best they can for themselves now and as they get older. Okay? So notice that. What could you? Right. I love it. I love it. Kat Roby just says, I went from boxes to files and now they're envelopes. Yeah, I am doing the same thing. So here, you guys, totally. You know what I'm going to be working on during the declutter party? Photos. See this mess of photos? I pulled those out of a photo album. The photo album, I did decide I was able to get rid of any of the kind of personal things in it, and it's now pretty inert, so I'm going to donate it. But I am going to go from having photos in an album to temporarily having them in envelopes. And even 3 of those envelopes, I'm going to reach out to people to see if they want those photos. Okay? Yeah. Now, Karen's Pick of the Glitter says, where do you take things? I think take, not rake. You want to get rid of? I am lucky in that I have so many places that I could take it. I take them to, let's see, food I don't want, I bring to the food shelter. Unopened and unexpired. Okay, the food bank. We have a Goodwill in our town, and sometimes I will take it to the Goodwill. Other times I will donate things to the thrift shop that's associated with our hospital. Other times I will bring it to what is that one? Habitat for Humanity. Other times I'll go on an adventure and I'll donate stuff at a thrift shop in another town. Look for places that you feel good about what they do with the money. I have donated a lot of my really good stuff to my local historical society because they do online auctions and they raise money for a thing I care about. So I ask you, where is a place near you that you don't mind, that you feel okay with what they do with the money? Now, that being said, I know some people have issues with Goodwill and Salvation Army, and I get that. But I also have benefited from stuff that I've bought there. So, and it can also be very convenient for me. So I am not overly picky about that stuff. Okay? So find a place that feels good to you. Hey, there we go. I love it, Lori Hannah, and nice to see you. It must be, I don't know, we do the time change, but your state does not. There we go. Lori Hannah says, taking my 80-year-old mother-in-law to Graceland for a long weekend. How fun is that? Packing is easier with a decluttered closet. Notice the things, the benefits that you may not even associate with decluttering. Somebody said they're sleeping better. Somebody said that it's easier to pack with a decluttered closet. It's easier to find the things in your home, to use those things, and to put them away so you maintain it. There we go. Oh, and my husband just sent a text, bonjour from France. Where did it go? Suki says, what if you have no idea what to put on the plan? Craft room overwhelming except one bookshelf. Okay, so first of all, Suki, before you even start a plan, notice your overwhelm is even saying, I can't even make a plan. Here's what you do. You write down, you get yourself out of overwhelm. When I say overwhelm, you say calm down. When I say I overwhelm, you say, that's right, I got to calm down. I got to slow down. I got to breathe down. And I'm going to write down. And do this. Fold a piece of paper in half. Write down on one side, usually it's the left-hand side, all of the stuff that you cannot stand about your craft room. What are the specific things that are overwhelming you about the craft room? And be specific. Be specific. B-E specific. I can't spell it, but you know, there'll be cheerleaders right there. Okay? Write down all the things you don't like about it. But you've only folded the paper in half. After you get all that out of your system, you've already created the map because it's pretty much just, you want the opposite of what it is now. Okay? You've got the opposite. There we go. Good stuff, people. Okay, so I got the fine says, I notice with myself, I get one room good, and then I let up on the other parts of the house. So this can be kind of that all or nothing thinking that many brains are wired for. There is a certain amount of understanding for that because you can only really focus on one thing at a time. Even if you think you're multitasking, you're really just shifting really micro shifts of small gears, okay? That is the difference between decluttering and maintaining a decluttered home. And when I coach people, when I coach on these TikTok lives and YouTube lives and with my one-on-one paid clients, we talk about there's the decluttering, which is notice my hand is going down like this. Pretend this is just a giant like pile of clutter that has accumulated. We often think that decluttering is just knocking down that stuff. We forget that also decluttering, ideally, there should be a second component, which is training yourself to not clutter again and build it up again. So temporarily, I got the fines. Sometimes things in other rooms may temporarily look worse while you're focusing on one place. Now, it's good that you notice that, and if you notice it and you don't like it, you can change it. So this is where setting a timer or something on your phone could be helpful. To say, okay, I'm going to stop my decluttering in that room a half an hour before I would be normally. In that half hour, I'm going to set my timer and kind of reset the rooms around. I will also, I haven't mentioned this yet in this TikTok live, and we've got about 10 minutes left. Again, as a reminder, there is a declutter party happening at 9 and 10 minutes from now. If you're part of the email group, you've got the invite, okay? And if you want to be part of the email group, just go to my website, destinationdecluttered.com, sign up. It's free. It's low key. No big deal. That way you'll get access to the party invites, the schedule for the YouTubes and the TikTok lives, all that. The other thing, though, that I know I haven't mentioned yet is two things. Hold on, I totally distracted myself, but I'm going to catch myself. Getting other people to participate in the decluttering if they live in the home. Okay? So perhaps rearranging the order of who's in charge of stuff. Are you still thinking you're in charge of doing everything else? Somebody else can do the dishes. You know? Yeah. There we go. Good stuff, people. Hey, this is cool. Kat Roby just found a second sock that she lost. Now, what's the thing I was distracting myself about? That was this. Monday? Okay, yeah, and just as a really quick thing, because somebody up Threads said they would see me at noon. There is no YouTube live today because we're doing a declutter party. Okay? And tomorrow there will be a TikTok live and a YouTube live, but I have a new washer and dryer getting delivered, and so I don't know when they're going to be. So those are going to be pop-ups based on their schedule. Okay, just really quick. There we go. I love it. Notice when you have a time limit, you can get stuff done, Patty. Have a time limit with laundry today because of the party, so no sidetracking, and now it's done. Yeah. Yeah. Now, again, I will always say, if you think something's going to be hard, you make it a little bit worse for yourself. That's hard to get the fam on board. It may not be comfortable, but it's worth it. I will say that. Karen's asking how the parties work. I'd be happy to explain it to you. So pretty much this is how the order of operations is. You're on my mailing list. You have an access to a page where you can sign up for a party. We have 10 of them this month. Different days of the week, different times of the day. The schedule is right there. And you buy a ticket. The donation money goes to a food bank, 100%. And then you show up at that time. Within that time of an hour and a half, there are 3 chunks. Notice, chunk it down. And chunking it down means you've got 3 chunks of 20 minutes that are timed. I keep a timer on my screen. And during the party, you basically practice decluttering. You declutter your own home while other people at the party are there with you. And even if it's just one person at the party, I'm there with you. And I'm there to help if you get stuck. But it just helps make it easier to carve out a chunk of time to get some stuff done that you may not as easily do if you're kind of left to your own devices. Okay? And we do a 20-minute chunk, and then we check in with each other. How'd it go? Did you learn anything? Are you struggling? We touch base, kind of like on a road trip. Like you pull over. Is everybody okay? Okay, then we do another 20-minute chunk. And then do the same thing. And then a 20-minute chunk. And then at the last chunk, we always make sure to factor in time to tidy things up so that it doesn't look worse than when you started. Okay? Yeah, and it's cool. 1963 says you don't have to have your camera on or just voices. You don't even need to participate. And I will say this, user 1963, I love the declutter parties. Well, there are 9 more opportunities between now and the Tuesday before Thanksgiving for you to sign up for some. I highly recommend. The sooner you buy your ticket, the sooner your brain knows, boom, I am showing up for that. And that can be a wonderful feeling to say, I have something to look forward to. Yeah. There we go. Jennifer Jordan, I love this. Yes. And I love this. Jennifer says, I told you about unpacking moving totes a couple of weeks ago. I've made progress. Yay for progress. Thanksgiving is back on. Yeah, so Donna is saying, where do we sign up for them? You need to be part of the email group first. This is to keep out the trolls. Donna, I'm not saying you're a troll, but you go to my website, destinationdecluttered.com. If you're in the email group already, there is a secret page that every email that I've sent to you pretty much ever has a link to. That is the portal that opens everything up. You pay online. It's, I don't know, credit card or whatever. It's the payment processing thing that's associated with my website. Okay? And that's how it works. All right? And I love it. Pam, the dog lady, I get it. The party provides people with some comrades. Yes, and camaraderie. Yes, that you're not doing it alone. That you get to know people, okay? And you don't even get to know people, but that you get reminded of I'm not the only person struggling to declutter on my own because other people are showing up. Okay? Yeah. So here's a fun thing. Erin says, I got the fines. I'm a millennial. What are your thoughts on yearbooks? I never look at them and not sure I care about them. Gen Xers here. I got the fines. Gen X here. I got rid of my notebook, my yearbooks in 20s and 30s. In my 50s, I regret that. I still have mine. I will probably keep them until I'm dead. They don't take up a lot of room. They maybe take up, 8.5 by 11 by 3 inches? There's plenty of other stuff I know. If I need a space of that amount, there's other less important things. So I highly recommend. You may later regret getting rid of them. They don't take up a lot of room. So think of what you can get rid of in the meantime. Okay? Yeah. And it's funny because Donna says, Erin, pretty sure you can reorder them. They obviously won't have your friend's writing on them. And the friend's writing is the thing that makes it personal. You know? There we go. Labs are up. Just joined your mailing list. Okay. So if you just joined the mailing list, you will have should have gotten an automatic email saying welcome. And that welcome email has a link to a secret members only page, members of the declutter group or the declutter email group. You click on that, you go to it. I've got the page right up here. There's 10 November declutter parties. Oh, this is another thing too, where you can click and find out more and get your tickets. Download and print your Pavers and Potholes monthly habit tracker, everybody. Okay? It's the beginning of the month. I'm also the coach. Is mine empty? Yes, but I will do it today. Okay? So, there we go. Okay. Donna says, trying to join the email list. It's grayed out after I add the code. Try refreshing. Your thing. I will see what it is. And that's just at destinationdecluttered.com. You scroll down, put in your email address, and it says retype this code here to prove you're not a robot, and then you should be able to click the orange join button. Okay? Yeah. And you can buy the ticket at the last minute too, but literally this is the last minute. Okay? Donna, the other thing too is, if you're really struggling with that, it looks like it's working on my end, so double check. Okay? The other thing too is my email address is beth@destinationdecluttered.com. If you want, send me an email and we can walk through it together. Okay? Now that being said, this has been really fun. I hope this past hour or any part of it that you participated in has been helpful for you. Again, my name's Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach. I show up on TikTok pretty much every single day, Monday through Friday, and occasionally on the weekends. There is a schedule to my TikTok lives, and I do YouTube lives as well. There's a schedule, and when you are part of the email group, you also get access to that schedule. I can see it right there. All right? All of this is free. I do one-on-one paid coaching. If you're interested in that, you can get in touch with me too. But in the meantime, please know there's help out there. It's right here. If you are ready and willing to change what you're doing, but you just don't know what to do declutter-wise, I am here for you. Okay? And even if you've never enjoyed decluttering, even if you don't know how, that's okay. You teach new things, okay? Now I'm going to sign off because I have a party to do, but it's been really fun for me. I will see you guys tomorrow at some point on TikTok. When I know those dates, when I find out from the washer dryer people, I might update the schedule or I may just pop up, okay? Always a pleasure, you guys. Take care of yourself. Take care of